Let's talk about the periods of sine and cosine, so period. So we know that both sine and cosine have period 2 pi. So here we're going to look at two special cases. We're going to look at sine bx, and we're also going to look at cosine bx. So two functions. I call them both f of x. I guess it doesn't really matter. So the formula for the period, whenever you have a number in front of the x, it's just 2 pi over that number. So 2 pi over b. So if you just had sine x, there's a 1 here, so it's 2 pi over 1, so that's 2 pi, so everything is good and the world does not end, because the period of sine and cosine is 2 pi, so this has to agree, this formula has to agree with what we already know. So let's do some simple examples of finding the period. It's really, really easy. Say we have y equals sine 3x. So in this case, your b is 3, and so the period here would just be 2 pi over 3. That's your period. Okay? And what that does is it makes the period smaller in this case, right? So 2 pi over 3 is smaller than 2 pi. So that means that the graph of sine is traced out faster. Okay? So it repeats every 2 pi over 3 instead of every 2 pi. So it's traced out 3 times as fast. That's a kind of a cool concept from something else. But whenever you have a 3 there, it's traced out 3 times as fast. So if we had cosine 5x, then the graph of cosine is traced out 5 times as fast, right? Kind of just some extra knowledge. So b is 5, so this would be 2 pi over 5. Whoops, 2 pi over 5. That would be the period. Now if you had something like sine 1/3 x, that's a little bit different. Then in this case, it gets traced out slower. So the period would be 2 pi over 1/3. So that's 2 pi times 3 over 1, because division is multiplication by the reciprocal. So then here we get 6 pi. So to find the period, all you do is you take 2 pi and divide it by the number in front of the x. So that's it.